Today we'll review one of the latest additions to the game for Great Britain, TheHarry Hopkins Mk.1. Initially, I wanted to make it a gameplay video, but turns out that the vehicle isn't really what I expected. Alright, let's start with the positive stuff first, as per usual. This little tank has a decent acceleration and top speed of around 48 km an hour, which is fairly decent for a light vehicle of this BR. Paired to this good speed, TheHarry Hopkins benefit from having a very fast reload of only 3.6 seconds, without any crew upgrades, which means you can reduce that number even more if you're willing to invest a bit into this vehicle, by purchasing an expert or ace crew. On top of that, your gun has good depression of around -15 degrees and you have access to the scouting ability. The armor will be my transition argument with the negative points of this vehicle. The armor isn't bad, let's just say that it's a situational bonus for this vehicle. The fact that you stand at 2.3 can mean two things. In a full down tier, lower caliber guns can occasionally bounce off your turret's face or frontal armor, but in a full up tier, don't expect to bounce anything from a T-34 or Sherman or a Panzer IV. Plus you only have 3 crew members, which means that only one shot penetrating will be your end. The gun is also pretty inconsistent, which for me was a massive problem. Most of your best shells are solid shot, and they deal abysmal damage to the enemy, even at point blank range, and the dispersion is atrocious. I admit that I hate tanks without good firepower. The second problem is that the entire lineup uses the same gun. The Valentine Mk.1 or the SARC 2-pounder face the same issues, but they fix that by being slightly better in other ways. The Valentine will have good armor, while the SARC will have better mobility than the Harry Hopkins. It almost feels like poor Harry here was the bastard child of these two vehicles. Its mobility also has its drawbacks. Your reverse speed is very bad for a light vehicle, with only -4 km an hour, and turning on the spot isn't very fast either. So how do you play it? TheHarry Hopkins Mk.1 is typically the kind of vehicle you use if you want to jump in a plane. Because of how average it is in the firepower department, you can't expect to make tons and tons of kills each game. If you play conservatively, you can easily reach a comfortable place in the scoreboard by just scouting the enemies all the time and gaining points passively. When I played it, most of my score was coming from the number of scouting assists that I made, rather than my number of kills. If you go for the plane respawn, 2.3 Britain has a good variety of aircrafts for you to choose from. You can go tactical bomber with the Wellington, or select anti-air duty by using a Hurricane. My personal recommendation is to respawn in a Firecrest, the 2.3 Squadron strike aircraft. It is extremely good at this BR and has access to bombs and rockets. In the end, TheHarry Hopkins Mk.1 is a decent reconnaissance vehicle. You can't expect great things from it, really, but if you sweat a bit, you can probably make it work. If I had to give you an advice, however, it would be to completely skip Britain 2.3. It is my belief that the British ground tech tree really starts to shine at 2.7. The Valentines you unlock are simply better and better. You have access to very good tank destroyers with powerful AP shells, and the South African sub-tech tree is here to provide overall good and quite goofy looking vehicles. Anyway, I hope this little review will be of help to you should you want to farm and play this vehicle, and with that said, I'll see you in the next one.